It is not a good year for Mark Zuckerberg. His pivot into the Metaverse has cost him dearly.
Facebook, 11,000 people will be losing their jobs, many layoffs expected in India.
The social media giant faces fines of up to 10% of a company's global turnover for antitrust violations.
11,000 employees are going to be laid off. That's around 13% of their whole composition. Some have even joined just yesterday and they've been asked to go out. Mark Zuckerberg will be like, here's the restroom. You can use this restroom. Just make sure that you flush it after using it. And here's the exit. Do you want to go out? Bye. What the f? All the investors are losing their interest, and Mark Zuckerberg has actually requested all the investors to have faith in the company while the stock prices of the company is just going down and down and down. Last week it was selling at around $90. Like, come on, it is one of the big tech firms. It used to sell at around $300, more than $300. Facebook's major revenue source, that is their digital ad revenue, is continuously decreasing. And by the way, what happened to the Metaverse? Everyone was talking about that. What does Apple has to do with all of this? How Apple is pushing Meta off the cliff? Are these big tech firms gonna die? Is Meta dead already? So much confusion around the topic. So let's just go old school. In this video, we'll go around the problems / challenges or what's actually the point here, and we'll talk about the key lessons in the end. So keep watching. So you guys all remember what happened during the pandemic? Everyone was in the home. Everyone got the time to scroll down the Facebook or other social networks. So there were these people called advertisers who were putting ad on these platforms. Suddenly what we witnessed was a huge rise in the incomes of these big tech firms, including Facebook, Meta. But what happened after the pandemic got over? The restrictions were quite losing down. People started to move out of their houses. We started spending more time outdoors, resulting these advertisers not putting ad on Facebook or its other platforms. Facebook ad revenue went down. And this was not the only one reason. There are two more reasons. Number one, recently this year, in the first quarter of 2022, Facebook lost more than 2 million of their monthly active users, which is a huge number. And most of them are Gen Zs like me. So why are we so discouraged? We just don't want our uncle and aunts to watch our posts and our stories. We just don't want that. And if you are an Indian, you would relate to me the most. From any part of the world, if you are below 25 years old, it's highly likely that you are just not using Facebook as you used to be at one point of time. And this was not enough when Apple came out with this really cool update of theirs, which allowed all the iOS users to choose to give their data to these platforms. So of course, most of them chose not to do so. Facebook literally runs on data. Let me tell you this, marketers really love using Meta ads because it gives you insane level of targeting. I mean, it's far much better than Google Ads. It's far much better than any other ad kind of platform that is out there. Because in Facebook, I can really target very specific niche. I can target people who have just got engaged. I could target people who are having a baby, or I could target women who are pregnant right now. This is insane level of targeting that Facebook allows. But again, there is this data privacy gig. Facebook has to respect it. But how iOS users are impacting it? There are a huge number of iOS users around the world. And most importantly, it is kind of a fact that if you are an iOS user, you have a relatively higher purchasing power. So Facebook is actually losing their potential customers. So Meta's ad revenue is going down. Number of users on Facebook is also going down. And Apple came up with this really nice data privacy update for iOS users, which was like another blow on Facebook's face. Facebook's face. Never thought of that. And you know what the cherry on the cake is? Facebook's incessantly been involved in all the nefarious activities that you could imagine. And it's not for one time. Facebook has got a slew of allegations in the past 15 years. Like, there are more number of whistleblowing than there are actually whistles in this world. And Meta has got itself tussled with major governments of huge economies. So getting yourself in all those nefarious activities and thinking that people will not notice it, well, if you are a huge big tech firm, it's really difficult to get unnoticed. But we all forgot about the elephant in the room. What happened to the Metaverse? Well, I have called Meta Facebook a lot of time in this video. It's because I happen to know it as Facebook, because Meta is quite far away, you know, Meta is 10 years down the line. And what Mark Zuckerberg has done, he has not only put billions of dollars in this venture, he had rather put his whole company into this new bet. And I'm not discouraging Metaverse. Metaverse could be the future. Metaverse has huge opportunities. We'll not talk about it in this video. It will take a lot of time. If you want me to make a video on why Metaverse is the future and Metaverse changing the world, well, that's another scenario. But you go to any expert, everyone would say that Metaverse is not something that will happen very soon, or any of these virtual world. Yeah, what today we have is kind of a virtual reality segmentation into gaming world. It's perfectly running fine. But when we talk about Metaverse, or a literal virtual world where everyone would come, so it will take a lot of time to first get noticed by everyone in the mass, and second thing, everyone would be able to afford it. Today, if you go to buy an Oculus, I think it comes at around 46,000 on Amazon. If you want to check it out, I'll put the link in the description, but not everyone's gonna afford that. So right now it's highly being perceived that Mark Zuckerberg has rolled out into this venture so soon. So the first impression that Meta had around Metaverse was not so good. When they presented it, it seemed like a 1990s version of video games, so not very sumptuous looking. And right now it's clear to all the investors that this Metaverse gig might work 8 to 9 years down the line, but who knows what will happen to Facebook by then. Alright, so what are the key lessons? So there are two very crucial lessons that you must learn. Number one, innovation. So as I mentioned, Meta's more than 97% of their revenue comes from the digital advertising that they get. So if people are not putting ads, and if we are not looking at these ads, they will go down. And this is what actually happened. So it's really important that you innovate and you get into new ventures, because for a company this big and betting everything from that one source, which could potentially go down, is quite a menace that today we are noticing. So innovation should be at the forefront of your agenda. And second most crucial factor is trust. Now, if you get yourself involved in all the nefarious activities of the decade, if there are allegations that you are mingling with the elections, with the riots happening in certain countries, and you are the reason for all the major havocs that happened in the decade, you lose that trust factor. Like at this time, although Facebook is going down, but in general, the sentiment of people is not negative. People are like, yeah, they're paying off for this sins. All the atheists have suddenly started believing in God. Now everyone is kind of has this sentiment that, yeah, Facebook is not that trustworthy company. They are taking your data, they're taking insane level of data. They are tracking each and every kind of behavior of yours. And Facebook has now become more and more about ads rather than content. Even the other big tech firms like Google, they are actually encouraging people to go outdoors and not just keep yourself focused on these mobile phones, but Facebook is literally going other way around. So it will be interesting to know what will happen with Meta. Of course, they're not gonna die. These are big tech firms, it will sustain. We have demand and we have supply, but it's kind of a renaissance for the company, kind of a time they should introspect and retrospect very well. I highly suggest you guys watch The Social Dilemma on Netflix. It will tell you a lot of things about what is happening around you and how you are not you, how you are just a product of these big tech firms. It's a really eye-opening content. Please watch it. It will change your life. As much as this video is also going to change your life, so we'll keep it till this. Do let me know in the comment section of some more learning lessons that you got from this Facebook thing that is happening right now. And make sure that you hit a like on this video, share it with your friends so that they get to know about what is happening in the real world. If you like such content around business case studies and marketing lessons and digital marketing as well, then this channel is for you. So please hit the subscribe button and keep growing.